Hey guys, it's just going to be a quick video on what is the healing gaze. So the healing gaze is a phrase that I often use in these videos. So if you don't know what it is, or if you're a fan of these videos, I'm going to be sharing what the healing gaze is right now. Basically, the healing gaze is a sort of thing that is developed internally when one learns to surrender, when one learns to process their emotions and to sort of deal with it, to let themselves feel fully, deeply what is going on underneath. Like, they will develop what is called a healing gaze. I've developed it, you may have or will eventually develop what is called a healing gaze. It's basically an internal, we could describe it as a torch, an internal torch. It's an internal sense of looking at your emotions where you realize that if the best way to heal and to process emotions as they come up, as they come into your life, from other people, from the universe, from yourself, or from the past, or from the inevitable future, that the best way to process it is to fully feel, to fully surrender, to fully process what is going on, then the healing gaze is essentially this internal look on life, where you start to look at everything through a path of surrender, through a perspective of surrender. So, for example, if you start to feel sad or start to feel happy or start to feel everything gets surrendered to. Because remember, when you surrender to your emotions, the bad becomes good, the good becomes great. So, if you're feeling sad, eventually, when you surrender to your sadness, the sadness runs out. Eventually, it transforms into peace. That peace, when you surrender to it, turns into acceptance. That acceptance turns into excitement. That excitement might even turn to anger, because we're like, Jesus, what was I doing for my entire life? That anger then turns into power. That power turns into love. That love might then turn into peace. We climb the ladder. I've often described it as a ladder, and I feel that's always very interesting. But this healing gaze that you will have, or eventually might develop, is this beautiful thing that it does not, your gaze, basically, it's where you start to look at basically whatever you're feeling. You start to feel everything fully and to start to process everything fully. But what ends up happening is you start to then look at other people with this healing gaze. You become essentially a healer. You basically start doing what I do, which is, to be honest, my goal of this channel, my goal of my work, dare I say, eventually, hopefully, my life's work, is to basically teach people how to process their emotions, teach people how to surrender fully, to process this stuff. But what ends up happening is you end up becoming more of a gift to other people, because what's interesting is as you process your own emotions, you actually help other people process them, because you come to amazing conclusions that other people can really feel deeply. That's why, for example, I am fucking fantastic when it comes to relationships and personal communication, all that sort of stuff. More often than not as well, I get more and more better at it. And it's really nice to admit that and say that out loud, because it's admitting to myself. But as you communicate with other people, you might feel angry. You might feel confusion. You might feel sadness. Now, are you picking up on their emotions, or are you picking up on your emotions? Truth be told, it's actually a little bit of both. When we feel angry at someone else's anger, we are basically, at first, it's our own projected self. I've often described it, it's at first it's our own projected self. Like, we get annoyed at them getting annoyed. You know, like, oh, you're so annoyed. But eventually, like, someone might describe themselves as an empath. You might then start picking up on their emotions, really, truly, deeply. But then you get the opportunity to process that. And upon processing, I often find what ends up happening is you do the right thing, you say the right thing, because a deeper part of you, the part of you that knows what to say, what to do, the part of you that is found peace in the moment, that can share and that knows that it's okay to get things wrong and you can learn, and it's okay to learn, it's okay to try to learn, it's okay to try and fail, will start to express itself. So you're picking up on someone's anger or someone's angst. You are feeling their blockages. And through your healing gaze, through your act of surrender, of surrendering their blockages, You almost heal on their behalf. That's when I'm coaching people, by the way. It's like when I'm talking to people, it's this healing gaze. It's this working with them to see and feel what they are feeling and to help them surrender. But you can do this now too. That's my goal. My goal is to share that healing and processing and all of this stuff and surrender is free, because it's happening right now. Especially if you are in a city or a town or whatever that is in lockdown. You are stuck by yourself, and that's fantastic. Because when you are stuck by yourself, what else is there? There's nothing but you. And as you surrender, as you process it, as you deal with your shit, you leave space for more love in your life. You leave space for more of you in your life. You leave space for more. You just leave space for more. The act of surrender itself is healing. Because as you surrender, you are saying, I'm no longer going to fight these blocks. I'm going to feel them. So as you surrender, you are essentially freeing up energy. And this energy in your life can be used for other things. This energy in your life can be used for sharing, connecting, expressing yourself, loving, lovers, a partner, partners, business, career, health. Witnessing yourself truly. To witness yourself truly is a profound gift you can give to yourself. To feel deeply. To love yourself wholly. Not to love yourself conditionally. I love myself when I look like this. I love myself when I do this. Therefore, I hate myself when I don't look like this, and I hate myself when I don't do that. It's dangerous egoic talk. Nothing wrong with the ego, by the way. Nothing wrong with the ego, nothing wrong with being egoic. But we, our people, as a race, have kept our hearts in locks and cages, have kept our souls behind bars, because we are afraid of expressing ourselves truly, wholly, freely. And enough's enough. We've convinced ourselves that we must try hard in order to succeed. And therefore, if success is possible with less hard work, we avoid it because it's uncomfortable. We are capable of so much more. So much bloody more. So develop a healing gaze. Look inside your soul, inside your body. What happens is we store emotions in our body. If I say, where do you feel when you feel angry? Where do you feel love? We feel it in different parts of our body. I often ask people, where do you feel stressed? They're like, ooh, in my shoulders, ooh. Stress is all over us. Pain, grief is stored physically, manifested physically in our physical forms, in our muscles. That's why we get a massage. Surrender is an emotional massage. So develop a healing gaze. Be brave enough. Be brave enough to look inside and to surrender to what you feel. Thank you so much for watching.